everyone, welcome. This is about a 25-minute class, really focused on relaxation and stress relief. I use a block at the end of the class, about the last 5 minutes. So if you have like a book or something that could substitute as a block, if you don't have a block, go ahead and grab it. And when you're ready, get in a seated position, legs crossed, and close off your eyes. Find your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. As you find your breath, move your shoulders and your neck. Just loosen up a little bit. On your next inhale, raise your arms over the head. Exhale, bring them down through center. And cycle through. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, down through prayer. One more time. Inhale, arms circle up. Exhale, through prayer. Drop your chin to your chest. Exhale and round your spine. Inhale to center. Extend the legs forward, and on an inhale, lift the arms. Just like before, we're going to cycle through 3 times. So exhale the arms down. Inhale the arms overhead. This time on your exhale, bring the arms through prayer, center and circle, then back up on an inhale. Inhale up and exhale, fold forward. On an inhale, lift halfway up, and exhale, fold forward a little more. Do this again. Inhale, lift up just a little bit, straighten the back. Exhale, fold forward. On your next inhale, come all the way up to seated and extend your legs out wide. Once you find a comfortable wide-legged position, inhale the arms overhead and exhale them down through prayer, through center. Flex the feet, inhale the hands overhead, this time opening up to the right side. Your left hand can come to your knee and focus on the twist here. So inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Take one more breath cycle here. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, twist. Exhale, fold over your right leg. Focus on your breath while you're here. Walk up towards center, and we'll do the same on the other side. Lift the arms up on an inhale. Exhale, bring the right arm to the knee. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, twist. A few more of those breath cycles. Flex your feet. On your next exhale, fold over the left leg. Find your breath here. Engage your core. On your next inhale, come up to center. Bring the legs back into a seated position or a cross-legged position. Inhale the arms overhead. Take a slight back bend. Drop the hands behind you if you would like to increase the back bend. or just stay where you were. And exhale, come to center. Drop the chin to the chest. Shake anything out before we get into the practice. If it feels right to you, you can take some neck rolls. I'm dropping my chin to my chest, then back, then to the left, and the right. Exhale, drop the chin to the chest. Inhale, carefully send it back. And shake everything out. Go ahead and make your way to a child's pose. We'll stay here for a few seconds, just catch your breath. Check in with how you're feeling. Are you relaxed? Are you anxious? However you're feeling, breathe it in and breathe it out. One more breath here, and then slowly make your way to standing. Fold forward, lift halfway, exhale, fold forward again, and slowly round up all the way to standing. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward, step back into a plank position, drop to the knees, and take a very easy chaturanga. So bend the elbows, lay on your stomach, baby cobra, and then press back to meet in a downward facing dog. Walk it out. See how you feel, and then step forward, forward fold. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Step back, work your way through chaturanga. Lay on your stomach, do baby cobra or maybe upward facing dog. Press back, meet in downward facing dog. We're going to continue with this, so walk forward. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward again. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward, step back, chaturanga, and flow. Downward facing dog. Walk it out. Make sure your thumbs and your pointer fingers are pressing into the mat. Go into a plank position and then send your body back into child's pose. Recenter your breath. Carefully press back up into a downward facing dog. Send the right leg up and through your hands. Drop the back knee down, the arms up, press the hips forward, drop the left arm to the right foot. You can stay here or you can lift the back knee to intensify the stretch. The right arm is up towards the ceiling and you can lift your gaze there as well. If your back knee is lifted, bring it to the ground and drop your right arm to the inside of your right foot. This is lizard. You can drop to your elbows if it's accessible. You could also lift your knee back up if it's accessible. Whatever you do, try to hug the right knee into your rib cage and keep your hips square. Press back up into a low lunge carefully. And on an exhale, send the hips back. Fold forward over your right leg for half split. Inhale, return to a low lunge, and then send the right leg back to a plank and flow through. Return to downward facing dog and inhale, lift the left leg overhead and bring it through your hands for low lunge. Inhale the arms overhead. This time, drop the right arm down towards your left foot and the left arm up towards the ceiling. Lift your gaze, and you can also lift your knee if you'd like. Drop the left arm to the inside of the left leg. For lizard, you can drop down to your elbows. You could also lift your knee, or you could stay where we started. Just make sure your hips are square. If your knee is lifted, drop it and slowly and carefully come up to a low lunge. Exhale, press back, half split. Fold it over that left leg. Find your way to a plank and flow through, meeting back in downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Step it through. This time, inhale to high lunge and open up to warrior two. Flip the hand, hinge forward, hinge backwards. Inhale overhead, and we'll go right through to plank, chaturanga, cobra or upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Let's do this on the left side. Bring the left leg up and through to a high lunge. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, open up to warrior two. Flip the front arm, hinge forward, hinge backward, cartwheel the hands, and flow. Meet back in downward facing dog. All right, we'll lift the right leg up this time. Send it through again. Inhale, lift the arms, high lunge again. Now you can stay here and stretch your hips out by leaning forward, or you can send your body forward, taking warrior three. If you don't want to do warrior three, I'm showing a counter example here. You could do a twist. If you're in warrior three and want a challenge, you can bring the back leg up. Standing split. Wherever you are, find your way back to a high lunge, cartwheel the hands, and flow. Lift the left leg. Exhale, bring it through the hands, high lunge. Stay here and work on stretching your hips or twist, or you can hinge all the way forward, flex the back foot, and take warrior three. Again, you can try standing splits if you'd like. Wherever you are, just focus on your breath and try to hold the pose. On your next exhale, come back to a high lunge, cartwheel the hands, and flow through. That's all for our warrior sequences. So make your way to the top of your mat. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward, and inhale, come to standing. Find a wide-legged standing position. We're going to do 2 sequences with goddess. So take your feet out wide and lower your hips down. You can bring your arms to a cactus pose, prayer position, or overhead. wherever you are, just focus on lowering those hips and engaging the core. On your next exhale, press up, bring the feet back to parallel and fold forward. All right, walking it back up, we're going to take Goddess one more time. So take the feet out wide, drop the hips, find whatever position you'd like your arms to be in, cactus, prayer, or overhead if you'd like, or you can raise the right heel, drop, raise the left heel, drop, try both if you'd like. Engage your core, breathe and drop both heels, bring the feet parallel and fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway, exhale, fold a little bit deeper. All right, we're going to do a Skandasana series now, so if this is accessible to you, go ahead and drop over to the right side, drop the hips over. If it's not accessible to you, I just showed you could sit on your butt and just bring the right knee up in front and stretch that way. Otherwise, you can try a bind in Skandasana. It's a difficult pose, so if you do need to be seated for this, that's perfect. It's a really intense hip opener. Make your way over to the left side. So whether you need to place your hands down and shift your hips over, or just sit down on the other side with your knee propped up in front of you, we'll go over to the left. Again, however you can find your hip opener here, go ahead and do it. Okay, now however you need to release carefully, go ahead and do so, and then meet in a standing wide-legged forward fold. Just to walk everything out, shake out your hips. And whenever you feel ready, come to a seated position with your legs extended in front of you. We're about to incorporate the block, so if you need it for pigeon, go ahead and grab it, but we'll use the block after pigeon anyway for some relaxation. So go ahead and grab your block or your book. If you can take pigeon on your right side without it, go ahead. I like to prop my hip up so I can get the proper stretch. I never keep my hip square with pigeon, so it helps me a lot. Wherever you're comfortable in pigeon, if you'd like to fold over the leg, go for it. Just cool down and stretch out the hips. Carefully start to make your way out of this pigeon, and we'll go ahead and shift over into the other side. Be really careful getting out of pigeon. It's an intense stretch. You can shake out your hips. You're probably going to feel a little jello-y. I know I did. Now for the left side. Take pigeon however you are most comfortable. Just try to make your hips square. All right, make your way out of this pigeon pose. If you didn't have your block before, you're going to need it now. Make your way to lay down on your back and take your block and place it either in between your shoulders, which is going to be a really intense chest opener and might feel uncomfortable and too intense. If that's so, you could go ahead and move it under your hips, which is where we're going next. If you'd like to take a chest opener, go ahead, do it now. Again, it can be very intense. You can put it on the lowest setting if you're choosing to do this. If you had it in between the shoulders, go ahead and come out of that. You could roll out a little bit, hunch forward, and bring it under your hips whenever you're ready. This one is also intense, but it's a little bit more accessible. You could keep your legs straight out in front of you, or you could open them up for an added hip opener. As you breathe here, notice how you feel now. You might feel a little emotional. Opening up the hips like this tends to do that. Or you might not. You might feel better or worse than when you came in today. You can stay here, or you can move the block underneath your feet so you have a little bit of elevation and just a final stretch. If you have it underneath your heels, you can bring your arms overhead. If your legs are elevated, you can go ahead and kick the block out of the way and just take a final resting pose. I'm going to put the block under my head to elevate the head. Feel free to take a normal final resting pose, Shavasana. And just find your breath here. Let your feet fall to either side. The hands can rest on the stomach, or the palms can face up towards the ceiling, falling to either side. Wherever you are, relax here. Shavasana. Start to notice your breath. Wiggle your toes, your fingers, And slowly make your way to a fetal position on one side. Keep your eyes closed. Stay here for as long as you'd like. I hope today was relaxing, helped you center yourself, find your breath, open your hips, whatever you needed today. Okay, we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.